Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach,
the podcast where fitness is more about fun than form.
I'm Sarah, the fitness expert who lifts heavy and loves a good challenge.
And I'm Kaylee, a newbie who runs more for survival than sport.
We're here to remind you that fitness doesn't have to be serious,
but we definitely take the snacks seriously.
So if you're looking for some laughs and a few questionable fitness tips,
you've come to the right place. Welcome to season 5. Hey, welcome back to Nacho Fitness Coach. Oh, hold on. No, hold on, just really quick. We just got an email from a listener in our inbox I want to address real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Dear Kaylee and Sarah, big fan of the show. Big fan of the show. Just have a quick question. Do you guys have medical personnel on site during recording in case Sarah ever slips and falls off of her soapbox? That's a great question. Listen, here at Nacho Fitness Coach, safety is of utmost importance.
We have Audio Alan that actually has...
We're always looking out for...
He wears that medical hat as well.
For the safety and well-being of Sarah. It's a high soapbox.
It's up there.
Careful, you might hurt yourself.
I have plenty of soapboxes, but you know...
All right, so we decided before this episode that I was going to go on...
That was, by the way, I don't think a real...
It was real.
Email.
It was real.
Kaylee
it was from
created maybe that one.
It was from Dustin712. Thank you for your question, Dustin. We'll send you some merch.
We'll send you a promo code to order your own merch from our shop.
These are the questions people have, you know.
Well,
it's
at
important.
least they're listening. I haven't turned them all off by now.
Not them.
Well, the others don't matter because they're not here anymore anyways, listening.
Listen, we discussed before we started this episode that I was gonna go on a bit of a sidebar.
Right.
Because there was no way to tie this into an episode. But we have talked in the past a little bit about just the influence of social media.
Yeah.
The algorithms and the way... Are you okay?
No, you tried to bully me into sitting like you on these chairs. And I was like, I don't know if my legs go like that.
You gotta work on that flexibility and mobility.
It's not that I'm flexible. I just have muscle in the way.
Okay.
And so...
Okay.
Yeah, so there we go. That's better.
So I wanted to talk to you about this.
I'm okay.
This thing that happened to me recently.
Okay.
On TikTok specifically.
Shocker.
Okay. All night
Never
tonight, I've
guessed.
had Teenage Dirtbag stuck in my head. I've been singing it. The reason I have it stuck in my head, I've had it stuck in my head a lot over the last couple of weeks because recently one of the members of One Direction passed away.
Yeah, I saw that.
Liam Payne.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know who Liam Payne was.
Is that who sings Teenage Dirtbag? Was One Direction?
Not originally. Wheatus sings it originally.
Oh. But did they cover it?
One Direction covered it in a concert only.
Oh.
I didn't know any of this 2 months ago, okay? Here's what happened.
Okay.
I got on TikTok, Liam Payne died, and then, just my nature, I kind of
went down a rabbit hole.
Stayed on those TikToks, I guess.
Sure.
And so TikTok decided this is the content
that she wants to consume today.
So I didn't even know all the members of One Direction.
No.
Now I do.
Is there 5 of them?
Yeah.
5. Okay.
And now I know all the members, and I know all of their family members, and I know all their likes and dislikes. I mean,
complete profiles, birth dates.
It's crazy.
Yep. Were they the one that Simon Cowell put together?
Yes.
Okay. They were like the first boy band, right? That he kind of no.
Well,
not
there
the
was
first
NSYNC,
but the
Backstreet
first ones
Boys.
that he
they
put
were later.
Together.
They were like 2010.
But NSYNC and Backstreet Boys put themselves together in a group.
No, Lou Pearlman put them together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's the whole thing.
Okay. Well, I didn't know any of that. I'm not a boy band kind of girl, so
yeah. No, Simon Cowell put them. I also didn't know that 2 months ago. Now I know that. I know how they broke up. I know which member left the group. It was Zayn left the group originally.
Totally.
But so I really went. I
went deep.
I was so sad about Liam Payne passing away. I didn't even know who he was. I was texting my friend Bree. I'm like, oh my God, this is so terrible. I was, and then they let the paparazzi be at the funeral.
Oh dear.
Because they made a deal. This is how deep I got. They made a deal with the paparazzi that you can come and take photographs and videos, but none of his son. As you can take as many pictures as you want. So all the other 4 members were all there crying, red face. It was devastating. It was so tragic, but it's just crazy because I didn't care about any of this shit. And I don't.
But you did.
TikTok decided that I do, and therefore I did. And it really was really sad.
Now you're in it. You were invested.
So but I know I was never a big One Direction fan. Back to Teenage Dirtbag because yes, they did a cover.
And you have been singing it like between episodes.
Yeah, I've been watching the video of their cover of Teenage Dirtbag.
Is it any good?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, maybe we'll pull it up later.
Maybe. We'll think about it.
So anyway, what's this fitness podcast episode about?
But that is actually interesting.
It
because
is.
It shows you the power
of influence
of social media.
Yep.
And the algorithms deciding like what they should make you think and feel. They're smart.
Crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, and that's the thing where it's like, you've got to be careful. I mean, that's why I think I'm so against kids having social media.
For sure.
Because that right there, like you could innocently enough be watching like a video that just showed up on your dashboard.
Yep.
And all of a sudden it took you down that rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. All those emotions, like that was somewhat of like a positive story. I mean, it was like, okay, you got to know about the band and the research, all the things.
I'm fine. But I'm old enough and mature enough to, I was very aware of what was happening.
But if you look at like how quickly that could spin like negative. Mm-hmm. And then when your brain is like forming and you're growing and coming of age and all of the things, and it's just like,
for sure.
Holy smokes.
Yep.
Those things can be super powerful in a good way. They can be powerful in a bad way. Well, just like the new version of Chat GPT that came out, you know, and your husband's in here like scanning all the different pictures and it's like telling you all about it.
You take video and the Chat GPT, the AI will tell you what it is. He was making a video of Alan's Rodecaster
soundboard. Yep,
the thing that we record on, and he was like, he asked ChatGPT, how do I turn this on? And it was like, there's a red button at the upper right hand corner next to the power cord. It's just crazy.
And then he was like playing like he couldn't find it. He was like, I can't find it. Where is it at? And it was like she very nicely like described it in a different way and was just like, this is how you operate this, and have a great day. And it's just, but those are the ways that AI, social media, things like that can be powerful in a good way.
For sure.
But just
it can be bad.
Quickly,
you have to be careful. You have to be very mindful of what you're consuming and what you're watching. And you have especially children whose brains are just not fully developed yet, and how quickly that can, overtake.
Which is not just children. It's till you're 25. Right. So if you actually kind of look at the years in which you are still forming areas of your brain.
We've seen it with political radicalization and
everything. Like, it's wild. I mean, you're basically getting all the way through college and probably possibly even a couple years into a workforce before you're like, oh, I still have like, what is it? The part of your like frontal lobe. Like there's a very specific area that helps
it doesn't form fully until.
No. Whereas like, that's where it's even so much more important for parents, adults in lives of people that are 25 years of age and younger to be involved with helping them understand, like they don't know how to make right decisions. Like they're not rational in their decision-making ability until you hit that age.
And even then, it's
very questionable for some people. Some people I just don't think ever get it.
Which is,
to each their own. To each their own, So, yeah, it's just kind of crazy. I think that it's it's pretty awesome. So, in a good way. But, yeah, it can also be...
It can be bad.
It can be bad. So...
On that note,
I did actually find a meme that kind of popped up on social media, and it actually kind of related to some recent conversations I've had where I've had an influx of people talking to me about what seems to be like one of the newer kind of like supplements to hit like the
magic pills
to hit like MLM scheme of things. And so last episode we kind of talked about just, big rocks and really slick marketing and how it looks all like fine and dandy and things like that. But I mean, there are businesses that are just going to try to monetize on whatever they possibly can. And you have to be diligent on making sure you're still kind of like, apply your common sense, right? A little bit. And don't get me wrong, we all have our moments where maybe not as senseful as we probably could be. So anyways, there was one that popped up. It makes me laugh because, before we've talked about Dr. Spencer Nadolsky, and he's kind of like a go-to person for me because he has an MD, like he's a medical doctor. He was also a collegiate athlete. I think he wrestled. And he is of the opinion where he's like, we're the group, like the docs who lift. Him and his brother, they're both medical professionals. They both have an athletic history. They feel like movement is medicine.
Yeah.
And they, I do believe, probably do a good job of working with their patients and prescribing, food, exercise, all the things, right? Now, he also then did, and I saw him first speak at a fitness summit that was probably 8 years ago, maybe or so. It was in Kansas City. It was a whole weekend long. There was experts that flew in all across the country. It was like 2 or 3 days long, and you sit and you listen to their presentations. And he was the first one of the weekend. And you're sitting and speaking to probably, 80 plus trainers in a room. He'd come in from all over. And his whole thing was he went through additional education to treat patients with obesity.
Okay.
And so that has kind of always been like the hat that he has worn. When he looks at any of these things, he is like, obesity itself is a disease. It's not just that somebody's lazy. They don't know what to do. Like, obesity truly is a disease and it needs to be treated as such. So as he went through like his whole thing, and he was definitely doing a lot of education, his final point when he did his talk was, there's one thing that you can take away from me today in this presentation as I'm talking into a room full of personal trainers. It is that you need to be empathetic to your clients.
Sure.
And with that, I think it's maybe time for a quick little break. Find our Nacho Fitness Coach page on Facebook with username Nacho Fit Coach, where you can like, follow, and share our content. Okay, so we're back. Especially ones that are suffering from obesity, right? And just have empathy and don't just be like, you're fat, you're lazy, move more, eat less,
right?
Which is just junk. Which, by the way, if you have a personal trainer that has said any of those things to you, you probably need to find a new trainer. They're probably not going to be the best ones for you, whether you have obesity or not. Right. I mean, really, it is a much more complex kind of.
It's just not so black and white.
It is not black and white.
People.
For sure, because you know what? We're talking about things that are highly emotional and sometimes really rooted into like some past trauma or whatever else. I mean, there are reasons for everything that we do, and everyone's story is different.
Yep.
And so as a trainer, if you're working with somebody, just to have some empathy, to get to know them, and whatever, you're just trying to help them, even if they're getting 1% better. Hey, you know what? They're 1% better.
Right.
Like, just move the meter. So anyways, he has now gotten on this kick. So, I keep hearing people ask me about this specific kind of newer one that's hit the market or whatever you want to say. And it kind of spins off the buzz around Ozempic.
Okay.
Which I think semaglutide, GLP-1s, there is a prescription version that has been prescribed from people that
lots of people
need help
as of now.
For sure. I'm sure there's a lot. And he has been a fan of it because he's like, you know what?
It helps.
It helps. If it can get
you
somebody
over that hump.
100%. Now, it also doesn't replace still trying to learn some healthy habits, right? Because nothing's magic.
Yeah, because you can get on Ozempic or GLP-1 and you can, drop however many pounds.
Yeah.
But if you're not changing your habits,
Yep. So
I guess are you going to be on it the rest of your life?
Right.
Or
which I don't know if that's even shown like any long-term effects.
Yeah, I don't
if
know.
That's the point of it or not.
I don't know if we know that yet. As
Probably
far as the
not.
long term.
It's already.
I don't know how long you're supposed to be on it.
I don't know
if you're
either.
on it. But if you're not changing those habits, I've known people that have gone on it just to lose 15 pounds. And I'm like, you could have done that. These aren't overweight or obese people.
Right.
it's becoming so accessible at this point.
It is.
That you can hop on it for
just be like, I'm just
10, 15 pounds. But then what?
Right.
You're just going to gain it back.
100%. Because at that point, there's probably not habit changes that are happening. Right. And so the ones I have seen that have been successful and have been open to share their story, they have said just that. They were like, this helped me, but I also did make this change, this, you know, and like,
well, my understanding is that it's not like it's the drug itself doesn't like burn fat or get rid of your fat. It essentially suppresses your appetite. So it's more of a calorie control.
Well, here, let's take a look at what he has to say. Okay. So he used to have this meme that he had created, which he's actually kind of a pretty good meme master. Like he will come up with stuff. And so he used to have one that had, it was for fat burners, because he's had the same opinion about fat burners. Like, it's a supplement that doesn't work. Don't waste your money on it, kind of thing. And so I don't know if you remember, because I mean, they're not having pictures taken of them together anymore. But there was this side by side of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, where it was like they were at a game and he kind of like leans over and it's like they're talking. And then the next shot of them is like looking straight ahead and like he's kind of smirking and she's just sitting ahead, like super annoyed. Oh, so he's turned this like meme into, have you seen that one before? Where it kind of he's leaning over and says something to her and then she just gets like super straight faced afterwards. And so he updated it away from the fat burners and it says those GLP-1 supplements you bought won't do anything. Mm-hmm. And then her face is like, straight face. Like, it's like she's pissed about whatever he said. Now, I mean, those two pictures could have been taken 30 minutes apart. We'll never know that they were even related to the same conversation. Sure. But so this is what he says. I modernized this meme. It used to say fat burners, but the new rage is the idea of the GLP-1 activator supplements. Mm-hmm. They don't work, my friends. Save your money. Right. And so then he goes in, because he always does a great job then of pulling it back into like the medical side, right? The GLP-1 receptor agonist medicines like Ozempic have been engineered to be broken down by our body. Natural GLP-1 is broken down within a minute or two. We have drugs that prevent the breakdown of our own GLP-1, but even those don't result in weight loss. They do help with blood sugar though. So I've been getting message about these new supplements daily. New lines are coming out. They are a waste of money. I'm not talking about supplements that can help you with constipation or nausea that are promoted to people taking GLP-1 medicines. It's possible some of those could be okay. Right. So, I'm like, all right, it's just maybe they help with constipation or nausea. Mm-hmm. But
so if are we like naming names first and last here? Like
for what?
A certain company?
I mean, I think there's probably going to be a bunch of them. I mean, the one that I know of right now is like the Life Vantage. Right. But I mean, I'm sure if we just did a quick Google search.
Well, Life Vantage has been around for a long time. It is an MLM business model, which, you and I both, we're not big MLM fans. No. In any sense. I
mean, there's actually now a GLP-1 nutrition.com. Okay. Are available to help manage weight and blood sugar, and they interact with other meds not as effective as the pharmaceutical drugs, and that's just the AI overview. Mm-hmm. I mean, God, there's so many.
Well, I've had people on my social media, friends list, whatever, who have embarked on this Life Vantage, GLP-1, mind body GLP-1 system. Oh, from Life Vantage. Claims it can increase your GLP-1 levels by 140% on average, which GLP-1 is something your body naturally produces.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Nadolsky says is,
tied to blood sugar regulation and appetite.
Natural GLP-1 is broken within a minute or two.
And so the thing is this company, they're comparing allegedly. We need to say allegedly.
Allegedly.
They're comparing their product to nothing. They explicitly say you shouldn't compare it to prescription medications like Ozempic or Wegovy, which are actual GLP-1 agonists. Right. So, like, what are we? And
that's what he's saying. Like, he's like, the one.
So we're not, like, this episode is not, we're not ragging on GLP-1s in general. Ozempic, Wegovy. No. Like, we don't have a problem with that. But it's these these MLM predatory companies that
social media just kind of driven
these aren't real
promises.
GLP-1s.
Not in the same way that the prescription ones are, right?
Right. These aren't FDA evaluated. The claims that they're making, you have to take it all with a grain of salt.
We could probably have opinions about the FDA though, too.
Well,
we just won't go down that path, but
but when you think about MLMs, like they're getting like that's follow the money. Like
we do talk about money. Holy
it's all
smokes,
commission
it is big
based.
business.
So even if they really believe in the product, are they being honest or are they being salesy? Like their goal is to get you to sell underneath them.
For sure. And just sell it and use it and build your teams. I mean, that's the most powerful part of the MLM is the recruiting. Right. And you know what? If it's a placebo for you and it's enough, like, okay, fine, you're putting money into buying these supplements and then it's enough that you're investing. So you're choosing to make other lifestyle choices that are for the positive, fine. But at some point it's like, okay, why, if you're having now money to spend $200, $300, $400, $500 a month consistently on supplements, again, let's go back to the big rocks. Are you doing the other foundational things consistently first? And honestly, like when I say consistently first, it's like most days of the week for like 6 to 12 months. Yeah. That is what I would consider then something that you've gotten. You don't have to be perfection, like perfect. I don't need perfect. I just need consistent most days of the week, not every day, not even like all wake hours of all 7 days, like consistent as much as possible. Moving that meter and doing it for 6 to 12 months. Yeah. And you know what? If you do all of that and you get to the end and you need a little something extra to invest in yourself to like dial it in, you think this is going to do it for you, fine. But if you're flipping those two around, that's where I think you're going to have a problem. Yeah. And you're going to waste a lot of your money along the way.
Yeah, and most people who get involved in these MLMs, like it is flipped around because it is, you're promised a lot of things. And then at the end of the day, like you're really just paying for somebody else's upline commissions, and you're just a pawn.
And I also feel like when you start seeing celebrities start to endorse stuff, that's also another red flag.
Yeah, and it's such a big thing right now. And to be honest with you, we're seeing a lot of people that I know in real life, and then, people in Hollywood, whatever, where people who have always been overweight are suddenly rapidly losing weight. Yep. Which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's interesting because that you can almost intuitively know. Yeah. Like who's on it, who's taking it, because it's like, oh, you've been, overweight for the last 10, 15 years. Right. It's just happening to everybody.
Yep, it is. Well, and it's actually like it actually came up in another conversation that I had recently because it was like, okay, well, Kelly Clarkson has lost a lot of weight recently, which I hadn't kept up with or whatever, which I adore her. I think she has a fabulous voice. It's been fun kind of watching her from American Idol, her career, all of the things like. She seems like somebody that you should just wish the best for. Like she works hard. She does all the right things. And, but then you've seen her through all of her stages of life. Because I'm pretty sure she was probably just a teenager when she won American Idol. Yep. She was young. And Carrie Underwood is another one. They were babies. Yep. And they were in the spotlight then as they kind of matured and grew up and whatever. And then you get married, you're pregnant, you have kids, especially for women. Like, those stages of their life are hard. Yep. And you never know how they're going to affect you. You never know that like when you have a kid, how that's going to work afterwards and all the things. And so anyways, it just recently over dinner, it was like, well, is that what she did to like lose some of her weight? And actually she kind of did go the opposite route from everything that anyone is saying right now is that she just focused on herself and exercise, eating better. Like, from anything anyone has come out with, she says she's not taking it.
Yeah, you hear that and you're like, oh, she probably is. At the end of the day, it's none of my business. It's none of your business. No. Like whatever route somebody wants to take. It's just that I just get concerned when it comes to the multi-level marketing. As far as prescription, I really don't care. I really don't.
And with that, I think it's maybe time for a quick little break. Be sure to check out our website at nachofitnesscoach.com, where you can purchase merch and listen to all previous episodes. Okay, so we're back.
As a matter of fact, I've almost had like FOMO about it. I'm like, I wonder if I could get on Ozempic. I don't need to go.
No, you don't need it. You're good. You're good.
But everybody else is.
Yeah.
Just lose that last 10 pounds.
You know, what people forget is that, so it's like she said, it was a combination of factors: diet, exercise. She does take medication to help her body process food, but she's also got a pre-diabetic diagnosis and autoimmune and thyroid conditions. So I'm sure some of that's balancing out her hormones.
I hate that I'm so skeptical when it comes to that stuff. Sometimes Kelly Clarkson, like she's a massively famous person, and I'm like, she could lose the weight through whatever means. Yeah. You know, maybe it is. And we're getting to a point where who's to say what is the right way? No. You know, right. I guess that's not. Yeah. But what who are we to judge?
This is a judgment-free zone. Don't we know this? No, yeah. Well, but what people don't understand is, like, if you're starting wherever your starting place is, to get started, you're moving in the right direction. Mm-hmm. That's good. When you get to where you think you want to go, right, then you're like, okay, but now I want to go be great. Like, it gets harder to move the meter. Mm-hmm. And
listen, it's like steroids, though. I mean, there are people who, you know, you just work out and you eat right. That's really only going to get you to a certain point as far as building muscle and having those huge.
Sometimes it just takes time and consistency.
Sometimes steroids.
And sometimes it just takes steroids. There's some natural bodybuilders out there, but
many.
If they do it too quickly, there's probably, because it takes a long time to build muscle. Yep. And you have to be super dialed in on your nutrition to do it without getting like super fluffy along the way.
Which is fine. And I think there are people out there that can do that and have done that. But I think that more people than you would realize got a little bit of help, steroids, which is fine.
But you also can't do steroids and not do the work either. It doesn't work that way.
You can't just sit on your ass.
You cannot. It doesn't just like happen for you. Like, you still actually have to go do the work. Yeah. It just makes the results come faster, right? But you know, it is harder. The closer you get to the goal, you have to be that much more dialed in and that much more like clear on what you were doing. You have to give up more, because it's a lot harder to go from, you know, average to good, then good to great to like whatever, right? And you also, your goals change along that process too. So whenever you start your journey and you're like, oh, this is my goal. Yeah. Once you get to that goal, you are not going to be happy with where you're at, because you're going to come up with a new goal.
For sure.
And then you're going to get there.
That's just how the brain works.
It's how the brain works. And, you know, it's just funny because I would have personal training clients. They would come in and they would bring pictures of the people that they want to look like, you know, and it's like, you can have that as a picture, inspirational board, but you are not going to look exactly like that. No. Because you're not her. Like, it's
you could have the same exact diet, the same exact workout plan, this, that, and the other. It's different. And you're still not going to look. Everybody has different bodies.
And, you know, people that come in and bring you that picture, if I was to ask the person in that picture, are you where you want to be? They'd say no. And they would
show you a picture of another person.
They would show me a picture of another person. And they would be like, you know, so that's also a thing that you need to kind of like get out of your head, is there is never an end goal. Mm-hmm. Whoever you think your end goal is, they're also not happy with where they're at, because they're going to change something. But like, that's just part of it.
It is.
So don't tell yourself, oh, I'm going to be happy when.
Yeah, because you're not.
Or I'm going to be satisfied when, because it just.
With your, which I always think about, like your story you've told about your fitness competition and how like you work so hard and you know, this, that, and the other. And then you didn't win.
No.
But like, that's so messed up that it affected your psyche that much, you know, because you really couldn't just be proud of like what you had done.
Right. Which is really kind of crazy to think.
I think anytime, I don't know, I shouldn't say anytime, but I think a lot of times when you start getting into a niche that is body centered, your mental health has to be incredibly okay before doing that.
It's a journey, but I also feel like everyone's journey through that is different.
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think if I was to do it again, which I'm kind of planning on it, I think my head would be in a different spot.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all part of your journey. Like there are going to be ups and downs. You know, it's not really different than anything else in life. Like it's not just this like solid line that's progressing like up and to the right, like in a smooth line, right? I mean, anything that is worth having in life is a cluster to get there, right? You're going to spin around and go up and down, and like any goal, there's not a straight path.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of the same with that too.
Yeah.
But
well,
yeah,
it really
it's
has
a
to be
mind.
you against you.
It does.
You against.
But you know, you're also getting put on stage and you're literally competing
against other people.
That's why
I'm saying, like, whenever you like the actual thing that you're doing is literally judging your body.
Yeah.
Not even who you are as a person.
Nope.
Judging your physical body against other people. Like, that's wildly messed up.
It is wild.
And if you're not mentally prepared to handle that or emotionally prepared to handle that, it's not going to go well.
No. But you don't know that you're going to be prepared for that or not until you just do it. Like it's a weird.
Yeah.
It is a very weird thing. That's for crazy. Sure.
I don't know if I can do it.
I don't know. I mean, it also, that doesn't have to be the goal, but having a goal helps you have something that you're holding yourself accountable to. Whether it is signing up for that race, whether it's anything, it really doesn't matter what it is. But you know, having a goal with a date and a reason can sometimes help you just enough to stay focused on what you're doing. Yeah. That it will get you through the times that are a little bit more challenging, you know. Yeah. But
all right. So anyway, back to the GLP-1, MLM, ABCD.
You know, I mean, we know how I feel about supplements in general. Yeah, they are meant to supplement what you should already be doing.
When it comes to these things, when there's an upline or commissions or things like that, you have to be skeptical. And I think with anything like this, any product like this, you should be talking to your doctor first. You know, this isn't something you just buy off your friend on Facebook. And you know what I mean? Yeah.
I have a hard time. I struggle sometimes because I also feel like the amount of nutrition and wellness classes that medical doctors get in med school is
that's fair. Nutrition wise, but I'm talking about getting on a drug.
Well, that's true, but like I mean, if it's a supplement, I mean, you would want to make
sure. That's why these shouldn't. That's why they shouldn't be labeling these as supplements, because it's not.
It is though, because it's not engineered the same as prescription drugs.
But they're trying to make you think that it is.
I know, that's true.
So if you want to get on an actual GLP-1.
Probably
medication.
It should probably be through your medical professional.
Probably be through your doctor. And if you're buying it off of your friend on Facebook,
got it. That's where you're going.
It's probably not an actual GLP-1. And then like, fine, whatever, take it, but you're not on. It's not Ozempic.
I mean, yeah,
you know,
it's just not. You know, they are expensive though too. And this isn't the first one. I mean, there's like all of the different ones that'll be out there that will be like, you know, the food replacement bars, or I mean, there's all kinds of ones that they.
That's why we're here.
Try to get you, you know, to do like the monthly subscription thing, and like it will never cease to amaze me how people will throw hundreds of dollars a month.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it
on things and get really pissed off about a gym membership that's $34 a month. You know what I mean? And you just are like, but you have one body, take care of it, move your body, learn the basics. Like if you don't want to pay for a gym membership, fine, go out and walk in the fresh air, dial in your nutrition, and that will get you probably 70% of the way there.
People don't want to do that.
Food, water, figure out your food, and just go out for, you know, walks a day for 30 or 45 minutes. Like that's going to get you pretty close to like where you need to be. But
does your watch just tell you it's time for bed?
It was an alarm. Oh. Yeah. But we have the same watch faces now, which is like so cute. So it's just like, oh, it's our Nacho Fitness Coach colors. It's pink and yellow. And now that Kaylee's an Apple user, she's teaching me all these fun things. She's been playing with her new watch, and I've had the same watch face for 10 years. So anyways, but that's
it.
That's
Be
it.
skeptical.
Just do due diligence and use some common sense. And again, if you're not doing the healthy things first, save your money.
Yep.
Focus on that first. And then back to our cupcake. The icing.
Frosting, icing.
It's the frosting. So,
all right.
That's it. That's all I got. Until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to head over to our Instagram at Nacho Fitness Coach and let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. And if you like our podcast, leave us a rating. See you next time.
You've been listening to Euphony Innovatives Sonified.